Hey YouTube, Mike here. I'd like to thank everybody that has looked at the video so far and subscribes and the likes. Here's our third video. Did change the shop around a little bit. I moved the assembly table, I moved the outfeed table and got it grooved. And I moved the assembly table next to the MFT3 table. Just got to get that leveled off, but I'm probably going to be putting that on casters. I moved the drill press to where the Capex used to be because I did a little research this week and this is what I came up with. I purchased this DeWalt rolling miter saw stand. It is the DWX 726. I did a bit of research on it, looking at different miter saw stands. I was going to purchase the Festool, but for the amount of money and what I use this for, I'm not a contractor, so this was the best stand that I found, the most heavy duty for the money. The stand will hold 300 pounds and it will accommodate a saw 16 by 28. It fits the Capex saw perfectly. I did have to drill out the holes to 5/16 so that it can fit on its rails, as you can see, and it works perfectly. I am going to get rid of Old Betsy. The box is huge. I'm going to be getting rid of that box and getting a smaller box for the tools that I do use, and I'm going to get rid of that shelf, and I'm going to be putting that new saw stand up against that wall. The entire stand with its wings is 10 feet long. Now, the extensions, and I'm going to pan down here, are from a company called Multi-Blade. It's www.multiblade.com. It is a very heavy-duty piece of metal that gets mounted onto the Capex rail. They also make extensions pieces for the MFT3 table. So this here will actually mount right onto the MFT3 table, and then you can put another extension onto it. There's also legs that you would put down at the bottom to level off. I don't think I'm ever going to be putting the extension on that table, but if I do, I have the pieces. Okay, the saw extension locks down with a thumb screw. You mount this bottom bracket onto the piece of wood. I use birch plywood and I edge banded it. And then the piece actually will then lock into the groove of the MFT, and all you do is tighten it down just a little bit more than hand tight. The reason I bought this was because of the hold down to hold up these extensions. I'm a lefty, so on the left side I put this 4-foot Craig track with a large Craig stop and then a small woodpecker stop. Used it to cut up some pieces just for testing, and it works very well. The saw does collapse. It is hydraulically assisted through a piston and this red lever. I found it to be a very good saw. Okay, over here I got a delivery from Fastcap. I've been looking at Fastcap for a while. I do have some of their tape measures, but I purchased, this came actually as a kit. It was $80, not the tape. Flush cut trimmer, the speed roller, which has the metal and rubber wheels, the quad, which is the 30-degree carbon steel blades, the quad trimmer, the fast brake, which smooths out the ends, the edges of the banding. I did buy a 50-foot roll of pine unfinished, and then their tape, because I do have some edge banding that does not have the glue on it. And then this is actually the fast edge clamps. You screw them down onto a piece of wood and it holds the board up. It came in the set. I'll probably put them in one of the Festool sustainers. But I did edge band this edge with the vacuum clamp system, and I tell you, I'm going to get rid of my iron. I'm not going to use it no more. Okay. Was on the Milwaukee website and found this new drill. It's an M18 fuel. It is the 2760-20. It's a surge hydraulic drive, not an impact. It'll handle all of their batteries, including their new 9.0 battery. It has 4 speeds. It has its first speed, which is 900 RPM, 2100 RPM for number 2, 3100 RPM, and then it has a setting if you're going to do sheet metal screws into either between 20 and 28 gauge metal. It's a speed that will not prevent you from shearing off the head of the screw and also marring the surface. Now, the old Festool cart, this is the old impact drill. Well, not their old one. It is the 2863-20. Listen to the difference in the sound. Here is the quad drive, the surge drive. Now I'm going to do it on number 2 because I did do it on the sheet metal drive. This is 2100 RPM. Very quiet. And the one thing I love about all the Milwaukee drills with these quick chucks is that you just put the bit in and it locks in, opposed to the other drills that you have to manipulate the chuck. Got very good reviews on it. It's very light, as you can see. The drill is a little bit smaller. It is a little bit lighter. Yes, this one does have the larger battery on it, so that will take up the difference in the height, but it is a tad bit lighter. I'm not sure of the weight, but the sound alone makes a big difference. Okay, I picked up the Festool jacketed hose. I used it today to route out the table, and I also used it today to trim out the back of the cabinet. And it does prevent it from snag. It still does get hung up a little bit, but not as much as it does with the other hose that have the ribs on it. Okay, the cabinet, which was on the second video, I finished. I still have to fill in all the holes, sand it, and paint it, but I got it done. Bottom drawer, I put in the other saw stop pieces, the riving knife, and the other blade guard. Just leave it there. Probably never going to use it. I have the overarm dust extractor. Then I built some shelving. I have to put some Kaizen foam on it, but I have my different 10-inch blades. This is a K-Pax blade, and then I have my dado set. I put my push block in here. I just put some the multi-blade pieces and some stuff for a project I have to do, building my daughter a bed. And then in the top, I put the dado cartridge and the dado insert, which I have to still dado. The saw I've used extensively. It is a great piece of machinery. I still have to get used to the switch. When you switch table saws, my switch used to be here, now it's over here. But when I do remember it, it's so easy to hit it with your knee to shut it down. I do have to get used to turning on the switch. I try to turn it and, you know, nothing comes on. Okay, oh, yes. I want to show you this drill. This is a 12-volt drill made by Snap-on. The chuck, like I was saying, you will not lock in, you have to manipulate it. But this drill, I can't put down. I got a very good deal on it. It is discontinued. I do have a few batteries in it. It's a very light drill, but the drill has a rocker switch. Forward, reverse. I can't put it down. Like I said, I got a very good deal on it from Snap-on when I was buying some sockets. He had it sitting there. It was like half price. I took it, but it is a very good drill. Very powerful drill. Very good drill. Okay. Over here, some of my so I do have the two impacts. My Milwaukee, I have a 1/2 inch. It is the 260420. We have quite a few of these. My trucks use them. They're hammer drill and regular drill. Then I have a 12-volt. I have the Snap-on. Then I have a 1/2 inch impact, taking off the tires of a car. Then if I don't want to use my Carvex jigsaw, I use this Milwaukee jigsaw, and then I have a Milwaukee 18-volt circular saw. Oh, something I didn't. Oh, I did the other drawers. I actually put 2 Sustainer 2s and then 3 Sustainer 1s. This is the hose. I just put it there just to get it out of my way, but I can actually fit 2 more drawers in here, and then I'm going to be building the mini system over there for the planer and the bandsaw. But I also purchased the other day a Milwaukee 18 gauge stapler. I've seen a lot of people online using staplers. I have that finish nailer, Brad, finish cordless. But I used the actual stapler to staple the back of the cabinet. It worked very well. I have, which I don't think I showed you, a Bostic Air Brad and a Porter Cable pin nailer. It's the headless pins. Had them for quite some time, and they worked very well. Okay, I received a package just in the mail now, just before I open it, my Valentine's gift from my lovely wife. These are handmade here in St. Augustine from a store in the city of St. Augustine. I don't know what the gentleman's name is. 12 chisels, oak handles, all the steel is handmade. I've seen somebody have them on a job site that was doing stairs. I haven't used them yet, but great gift. Very good, very nice gift. Okay, what came in the mail? Oh, 2.3 volt Bosch plunge router. Model number, as you could read, MRP 23EVS. I just could not see spending the $900 on Festool. I mean, as you can see, I love Festool, but I don't use it a lot. I had those multi-base units that you can go from a D handle to a plunge, but I don't like using where you have to turn the unit on, then put your hand onto the handle. I wanted one that has the on-off on the actual handle. Did a little bit of research and found for the price, for the power, the warranty, that this router was one of the best. They do mimic Festool with the shroud. You know, the shroud for the 1400. It does have a similar shroud that goes on it. You know, they do have vacuums like Festool that turn on and off when you pull the trigger. But this will accept the Festool hoses. And then the other thing that I purchased, which actually it came as a set, was the router guide. So I'm going to be opening this and trying it out, and I'll do a little review on it. All right, you can all have a nice day, and we'll see you next week.